You guys, we've been hearing a lot in the news about how AI, artificial intelligence, can produce its own, or do you say their own? I don't know. The machine can produce its own blog posts. And so we've seen some cool examples in news articles, but I want to know if it's viable for bloggers and should we be scared, what to really think of it. So we're taking a really serious approach to seeing how it stacks up in today's market.
Yeah, so we pulled a bunch of different AI articles. We had the AI create articles and we entered them into a blogging competition, the UCW blogging competition, blind judging. The judges had no idea that we did it and they scored it. The results were quite interesting.
Very interesting.
But okay, we gotta go back. Let's go back a month and we'll walk you guys through exactly what we did. All right guys, I'm ready for my first article to be written by an AI. After a quick Google search, I found this website, deepai.org. It's based on the GPT-2 from OpenAI. There is a GPT-3 now, but it's not publicly available. And DeepAI is actually free. You guys can go over there now and have your own article written. Okay, so the article that I wanted to write is how to cook a quiche. I actually just logged in. The article is here, it's ready, and I'm really excited to show it to Jim. So let's go show it.
Okay, this is the article that Nathan got back, and this is what the AI sent back. I know a little bit of this guy who already had done a lot in my life. He really wanted to learn how to make quiche. My big deal in the beginning of the program was finding a quiche bottle that I kept in my closet. The only thing I was missing were 2 bottles of beer that I had a couple of days ago. But I found this bottle and it really was my quiche, and I had that bottle in the closet. The beer was great, but my friend said she saw a lot of people in the office of our store. He said he had a quiche bottle named Osterklipt. The bottle opened over and the bottle was now gone. I was doing a great job, but the next thing I saw was the label, and there was a bottle sitting at the bottom of my bottle. That's right, one day I saw an advertisement in the store for quiche bottles at our place on 15th Street. The name Osterklipt was Osterklipt. So there you have it. The name quiche is finally being called the quiche. Okay, this is absurd, but it's cool how you can see it going from how to make quiche to somehow this quiche bottle, taking that to drinking beer, and then it just invented the word Osterklipt. Like, we Googled this, that is not a word. There is an Oster brand hair clippers. I have no idea how it associated them. So this AI is completely unusable. No way this is gonna rank on Google, but let's see if there's something better out there. I interrupt this video with a quick pitch. Go to incomeschool.com/ninja-tips. And you can submit a video up to 2 minutes long with your best non-obvious ninja tip for blogging or YouTube, anything internet marketing. And you'll get a huge shout out on this channel because we're gonna play them all in a video coming up in 2 weeks. So you gotta submit soon. Go to incomeschool.com/ninja-tips. So the next one that I tried is called AI-writer.com. And this one we actually entered into the blogging competition. So this is the Ultimate Content Warrior challenge that we just did. So Ricky and everybody else here at Income School were the judges. Me and Nathan did not judge this, so it was completely blind. They had no idea what was going on. The prompt was, when do men get facial wrinkles? At what age? And this is what the AI wrote. Recent studies have shown that when an individual hits 30, they begin to see major wrinkles in their face. Instead of being surprised at how wrinkles can approach you, you should be glad that they're there. Not only does this prove that you're not magically going to disappear, but it also affords you an opportunity to work on necessary adjustments. So, I mean, it's right. Like, when you see a facial wrinkle, you know you're a real boy, right? Like, you exist. But like, it did at least say 30. Like, this is way better than the Osterklipt article. But compare that to what a human wrote in the competition, and you can see why the score that it got was terrible. It scored 1.5 out of 10. It got absolutely destroyed in this competition, but it did at least show some promise. So I want to see if this one can perform on writing an entire blog post. So that's, oh, sorry, forgot to turn my phone off. Let's see. You guys, this isn't funny anymore. I better go.
All right, we got the article back, the full article from AI Writer, and it was a lot better. Honestly, you couldn't immediately tell if it was written by a person or an AI, but we wanted to walk through the article, what it told us, and see if it put something together that was actually usable. So we're gonna cook some quiche here and see what happens.
So here we go. I have the recipe right here that I'm gonna be reading from Nathan.
Is cayenne pepper an herb?
I don't know. AI sure knows how to cook.
Yeah.
Delicious. 20 to 25 minutes, here we go. That looks terrifying. That actually looks decent. We might have done all right with that one. So AI can just not produce a recipe. There's no way we would eat that. We really just took some of the ingredients they said and then just used human knowledge to actually put it together. So it can't produce a recipe, but the individual sentences and even some of the paragraphs did sound human-like, and at least were on topic and provided some value. So not usable, but at least not useless.
All right, the final program that we were most excited about is called MarketMuse. This is actually what started this whole deep dive that we've done with AI. MarketMuse has some really cool things that they're marketing, and to us this seemed like the most viable option for bloggers going forward. As you can see here, you are paying dearly for what they have to offer. The premium plan is $1,500 a month. So we wanted to find out if this was really worth it for us as content creators. What we were really most excited about were two things. They offer what's called a first draft, which is a preliminary draft created by artificial intelligence based on based on the title and a few keywords that you put into their system. The second thing we were excited about was what they call a final draft, which is, as they say it here in their marketing, it scales your content production with polished content that is publication ready. We were really excited about this, and we started working on it early December. That's a month and a half ago from now. And we ordered a couple of each to find out how good they were. And this is what we got for the first draft. Now, I do have to say there are some cool things here, but it's not really what we were expecting. We used the search term, how to cook a quiche. And then this is what we got here. The AI came up with subtopics that we could write our article on. And it showed us a suggested word count for the article and a few other optimizations that we could do based on the keywords that the AI found. But the first draft wasn't really that helpful in terms of writing the content. I would still have to go myself and take the information that they gave me here and go write the article myself or pay someone to do it. And when you spend $1,500 a month on something, yeah, it wasn't quite what we had hoped for. The second part was the final draft. We ordered a couple of these from the company and we never got them back. We had hoped that with the AI that it would be fast and quick, and up until now and some email correspondence back and forth, we just didn't get anything back, and so we really can't say whether or not that worked. However, overall, for bloggers, for us as content creators, this is not really a viable option. You could really write the content yourself or pay a real writer for about the same cost, maybe even less, to do the same job. So out of all of these options, this one wasn't that much more impressive than any of the rest.
So what do we think overall at AI? We tried multiple different services, not just the ones we mentioned here, but we've seen things in the news where they seem to produce better things. Maybe they're just not commercially available yet, but I didn't see anything here that was even tempting.
That's kind of what I felt like too. I think that there is definitely potential here. Like you said, maybe it's just not publicly available yet, but I really don't think at this point in time that this is a concern. I just think that right now there's one thing that's going to keep AI below individual content creators, and that's original research. AI cannot do original research, and so we've got to one up on them. They just can't beat it.
Right. It's an original research is like where you're doing your own tests, experiments, life experience, anecdotes, that kind of thing. It can't do that. And will this become a serious consideration in the next 3 to 5 years? Probably.
so, yeah.
I expect it to. And so that's why we're putting more and more of a focus on creating original research and original content. The other thing that I think is a huge problem with AI is, what we saw earlier with the text message. It can really turn on you. You can just be writing a blog post, doing everything just fine on your computer, and all of a sudden, just like that, it threatens to Oster clip you.
It's possible.
All of a sudden your blog is gone. This bottle, he guessed, there were some beers left waiting for me. The bottle opened over, and the bottle was now. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. But there was a picture on there. Oster clipped beer. I'm dying, you guys. What is this?